the SNES Classic or Super Nintendo Classic came out.
But not the SNES Classic.
Not the SNES Classic, unless you're in Europe and want to yell at Pat. Would you drop it, Pat? No, it's funny. I like annoying you. But it came out on, what was that? Only a week and a half ago. It feels like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came out on Friday the 29th. I got mine on the 28th from Best Buy, my pre-order. I played it. It's fine. The little ditties they have at the menu screen, I mean, I like the NES Classic one, but the Super Nintendo ditties even better. I was like dancing to that. Very cute.
So I had no intentions of well, I said if I saw one, I'd consider getting it, but I wasn't really in a hurry for it. Turned out that one of Ani's friends got her one for her birthday, so we set it up and we were playing around with it. And yeah, I mean, the menu system and all that is very slick, very nice. The games look nice. It's a pretty cool piece of kit. The controllers feel good.
Controllers feel like they're never going to get it 100%. We're talking about it was made 25 years ago.
No, but it's
close.
It's very nice.
Like it's like, oh, if you didn't know it was, you probably wouldn't know. You wouldn't know to feel like, oh, the plastic feels a teeny bit off. But control pad's fine. The triggers seem stronger than the original one. They probably did a better job. They won't break it. Or
they don't feel as mushy.
It feels mushy, the triggers?
Yeah, I don't think
but
they
the
feel...
mushiness never was an advantage, though.
No, I'm saying that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. But obviously, I think what's most important to point out is, even though plenty of people, I think, will point out that they still don't have one, they did a much better job this time of making sure that at least the launch day was not a horrible debacle.
Oh, I mean, my Twitter was blown up for people saying, yeah, I walked in and got one. Yeah, I was able to get one. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I was trying to track it. It seemed like at the minimum, most stores were getting like 20, but it seemed like a lot were getting 30, 40 or more than that. It seemed like the only ones that Nintendo shortchanged, I'm not sure they did it on purpose. GameStop didn't seem to get a lot of them.
GameStop, though, never get a lot. I mean, I've just learned this from over the years talking to my friend who manages a GameStop. They really don't get a lot of anything.
I think Nintendo doesn't like them.
No, but it's not even just Nintendo. They just don't get a lot of anything unless it's pre-ordered.
Okay.
And stuff that you can't pre-order necessarily through them, or you can't, stuff like that. They're not going to get a lot of extra of anything in.
So that seemed where people were upset. It's like, oh, my GameStop got like 6 or 10 of them, but everyone was like, yeah, my Best Buy got 40 of them. My Target got 50 or 60 or 70 of them.
Our local Targets got 120. 144.
Oh, you checked?
And 65.
That was the report?
Yeah.
On BrickSeek or something else? Someone told you?
Inside source. I saw the actual total numbers on the tickets that were given to 2 friends. And then one was because at Target, like, my friend had, like, literally, he pulled up at 7:30. Target was opening at 8. He was just scoping the line. He got out, talked to the person who was handling everything at Target, and they were like, well, we're just handing out tickets, and then at open, you go in, you give them your ticket, you get one, and he goes, oh, well, is there... And he goes, it looks like a long line. He's like, are there any tickets yet? And she goes, oh, yeah, you'd be like 102, and, there's 144.
So you didn't get...
So it said 102 out of 144.
So you didn't get there like the night before, like I heard some people did just in case?
No.
Or 3 a.m.?
No, he literally rolled up at like 7:30.
You can basically walk in when it opens and still get one.
Got number 102 or something.
So you're talking
like
just from a few Targets. We have like 10 Targets around it.
Yeah.
From a few, almost 500. Over 400, it sounds like.
144, 102, and 65. So about 300.
Okay, I thought you said 165 the first one. But it's interesting, though, because I think Nintendo was telling the truth. And that's what I tweeted, that we're going to have more in stores on day one of the Super Nintendo Classic than we shipped forever, like for the entirety of the NES Classic.
The biggest shipments to Targets, I seem to remember from the NES Classic, the biggest shipments were like, if you were lucky, your Target got like 25 or 30.
I heard less than that.
Well, yeah, like 10, 8.
And plus Walmart, I heard, got a decent amount. So it seems like GameStop didn't get that many. But everyone else, for the most part, sounded like they did. And plus, Amazon store near us probably got a decent amount. I heard the Amazon fresh truck, whatever the hell it's called, which I've never seen. It's like a myth to me. What is that, like the ice cream truck? It just like rolls around, hits an Amazon Prime song, and you roll up and buy your electronics. I still don't get the concept. I don't
either.
I don't. But
we're old.
We're old.
We're old.
We're fucking old. What happened? When the podcast started, we were young-ish. We're old. This happened the past year.
Yeah, no, it's really bad to look at like us 4 years ago.
Do the picture comparison?
A dying old man.
A dying old man. Well, it's the beardy, and the beard has some gray in it.
I do have to.
You got the rogue white hair from X-Men, but in your beard.
Yeah,
it's weird. You don't have white hair anywhere in your head, but you do in your beard. Mm-hmm. It's weird. But I'm glad that Nintendo said, okay, we're going to get these out. Obviously, you're never going to satisfy everyone day one. No. I had someone saying, Pat, they should have loaded up an entire truck and brought them to a store. It's like, no. You can't stock a store with like 1,000 or 2,000 when it opens. That would be insane. You can't overdo it. But you have to admit they met a decent amount of the demand on day one for one day.
They did what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Which was greatly increase the amount of stock. Yes. By many times.
By a magnitude of probably 10 on day one. They probably delivered close to that versus the NES Classic.
Yes.
I'm not shilling for Nintendo here. I honestly think they did a pretty good job, especially since they originally said we're not going to sell these past end of the year. Now they are.
I realized that we were taking a chance that we might be eating some crow when we were, kind of thinking about whether or not it was really the store's fuck up. And I think you and I really thought that, but we didn't know until
we didn't know
know until day one whether or not Nintendo was going to fuck this up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and this is why I think that's where it was going.
A lot of people said, I'll believe Nintendo when I see it. Well, they followed through here. I'm not going to say it's going to be a perfect track record going forward with the Super Nintendo Classic, but they did say, I think you said that they were going to restock.
I could not find the article, but what I believe was that it said there was supposed to be a restock in middle October.
It makes sense. Soon. It just makes sense because if you have Odyssey coming out, why wouldn't you also throw them with that? They basically like when they came out. Well, then it was the same system. When they came out with Mario 8 Deluxe, that's when they really restocked the Switch for the first time. Like in big numbers at least. That's how I got one. When that happened, I was like, oh, they're plentiful. So it makes sense you're going to see some shipment for something that major happen around that time, but maybe before that, because we're only a week and a half in, and even go twice a month or once a month. Wait, hold on, hold out hope, right?
And also,
Reggie said, don't pay the scalpers.
And
they're getting burnt.
I have a feeling that they may also. It makes sense to me. They may be. I think they're going to try to do another drop as big as the first one, because if you start trickling them out in smaller batches, that's when scalpers can start screwing things up. But even if you do another shipment where people are getting half that amount, like if all stores, like all those targets start getting like 70 or 60, you're still going to, I think, be able to meet that demand without scalpers stepping in.
So if you check San Diego Craigslist, of course, what you want to sort by price lowest first. The $80 one says, don't buy SNES Classic Edition from scalpers. Nintendo has announced that there will be way more stock than NES Classic, and that's true. But when you go down, again, this is a week and a half in. This one is going to be the largest amount for scalping. You can get one for $110.
Yeah.
$110. You can get one for $120. One that is open, you can get for $109, $130. $130, $130, $140, $140. So already, this is they can't even double their money.
They're $80 at launch, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think the scalpers either figured out they got to start returning these soon, or else they're going to take a bath. Like especially like the ones that bought 10. I mean, I heard reports from who told me? I think someone told me they were online and heard the scalpers like saying, "Oh, we're gonna make a field day on this," and like not even be concerned about games they are. I don't think they're gonna make as much as NES Classic. I just don't think it's gonna be a thing.
No.
I think if you bought 20 of these, expecting to sell them, you're gonna be returning a good chunk of them, and you might make a little bit of money, but for all that effort, again, is it worth your time to make that? Of course, eBay was trying to promote. How eBay used to have the guaranteed sale price will give you, like they'll make up the difference in order to get people to scalp on there. Let me just check eBay real quick to see what these are actually selling for. But I'm just telling you, locally, they ain't selling. They're just not. Let's see, what are they sold for here? Okay, on eBay, 138, 146, 132, 130, 135, 150, 132. An outlier went for 190, 120, 138, 147. Another outlier, 200, 140 with bids, 135 with bids, 138, 140. Looks like between 130 and 140 they've been going for right now. So there you go.
And that's
week and a half in.
That's not a lot. That's for people who are really impatient.
All right. Well, Pat likes to do. I like to do this. I
already figured it out with tax. It's about $90. So they're making plus shipping. They're making $30 to $40 return on their investment.
Oh, you're saying if they buy it retail with
Yeah.
tax, it's between about $90, probably a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit less.
And then if they sell it for $130, so that's a $40 game before PayPal and eBay fees, right?
Yeah.
And then you take out 15% of that.
Yeah.
And then, okay, did you do that math? Right, Pat math?
40. Do your Pat math.
All right, so you lose $6 down to $34. If you have a free shipping, you're at $10 or $12. 34 minus $22. $22. If you sell it at like, what did we say?
130 to
130, 140 about.
Yeah.
That's if you have free shipping. It's a lot of work for $22. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
To stand outside and deal with that. So, oh, there you go. Well, Ian, are you closer to wanting one?
Like I said, we already have one.
Okay, that's right.
Bonnie got
it's
one.
good to be married. You can share game collection stuff. I didn't think about.
I actually don't touch.
I never thought of that with my potential mates about what's their video game collection look like. I never really thought about that.
You know, I tend to let her collection be hers. I don't touch it much.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's separate.
Well, because like I get her stuff for her collection, and and she gets excited, but like in my head, I don't touch it because I don't want it to ever seem like I bought her something that we would both like for a game and be like, hey, I bought this for your birthday, but I'm gonna go play it now. So if she wants to play shit, like we'll play.
That's like the classic buying someone a gift they don't want it, you keep it yourself.
Right.
So not super surprising. Super Nintendo surprising. It's already been hacked.
Oh, of course.
So not much to say about that. Just that Nintendo, I guess, if they want to try to lock it out, they could have. It was hacked like within a day, like with probably a similar method. Sorry, I'm not down in this totally, but the system is loaded with about 300 meg of storage. So for the NES, that's fucking fine for the most part.
Right.
NES ROMs, most of them are below a meg by far. Some are like 16, 32 kilobytes.
Yeah.
There's only probably 20 to 30 that would be even a meg or more, and you're probably talking the Koei games. You know, like some of those are chunkier ones, but that's not even a lot. I'm not sure if it's even a meg.
I don't think so.
But for the Super Nintendo, it's a little different. In the Super Nintendo, most are above a meg. There's some that are below, but most will be like a meg or 512 at least. So, and then some are like 4 or 8 or 12. 8 megabits of power, like so. You're not going to be able to fit the whole library on here, but I'm hearing that you can get a few hundred on, and with 300 that makes about sense if it averages out to about 1. But so I guess you can mix and match which ones you want to put on there, right?
Yeah.
If you want to put a bunch of small ones on there, again, I haven't emulated a lot of Super Nintendo games in a while, but might have to for a certain guidebook. So do you have anything to add on that about putting on the games easily? Nintendo not giving a shit? I heard Nintendo left a message inside for potential hackers saying, "Hey, enjoy the '90s" or something like that. Like they knew it was going to happen. They don't care.
I mean, I think that's.
They're going to sell a billion of these. So why would they care?
Right, they don't care. I think they realize
at that
point it's just hobbyists having fun. It's weird what they do and don't care about Nintendo. But no, if you're gonna get something like this, and
by the way,
to go back to my very controversial box of ROMs comment, if this is what you're gonna get, I think there's something neat about keeping it as it is.
Sure.
If you really want to just load something up and put a new firmware front on it and all that, then go do your Pi thing. But this is neat and nice as a cute little thing that it is.
Sure, but I do see the appeal of adding more games, though. Absolutely. Though.
Sure.
I mean, this is a on the go. It's HDMI. I can take it to your house. We can have a multiplayer game. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's other ways of doing it, but I do see the appeal of this. Plus, it's well made. Like, it's very well made. I don't know if you saw that crazy unboxing video someone did, the awesome unboxing video live they did on YouTube.
It is super nice.
If they even have the spring on the reset button.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's a little touch that I'm like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Then you have my money there.
I guess it would depend on how nice the front end is after it's hacked and stuff.
I think it's similar. If you can see a picture, it's like the NES Classic. It's the same front end. It's probably a lot harder to scroll around on it. But yeah, it looks like you can use the hack sheet to address one of the annoying, if ultimately, this is from GameSpot, minor oversights of the Super Nintendo Classic, the absence of a home button.
Oh yeah, no, it does. It does look like it does look the same.
So you can make your own controller shortcut to make a home button. on this too, which is fantastic. Oh, by the way, the cords are actually a little bit longer. They're like from like, what was it, 2 feet, 2.5, 3 feet? They're like 4.
Yeah, I'll still be buying some extenders, but
oh sure, or you'd have to get an HDMI. Well, if you have to hit the reset button anyway to access it, you need to get like a 20-foot HDMI cable, which I think I need to get one for some reason. So there you have it. I'm for some reason I'm actually more interested in potentially putting more ROMs on this than the NES Classic. For some reason it appeals to me.
Yeah,
I don't know why. The NES Classic did not appeal to me to add stuff onto it. I was just like, well, there's a ton of games. You add all 700 on. How many are you really going to play? But if this forced me, I finally can put on like 200 to 300 games. Now I really got to pick out, okay, what the fuck am I going to play?
Sure.
So, you know what I mean? There's also a psychological thing to that. Like if you had the question we get asked about bringing games to a deserted island.
Bingo.
There you go.
Anyways.
What? What about it?
Nothing.
Is that podcast bingo?